It's Wednesday, October 15th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, PC majority win. Voters in Newfoundland and Labrador have elected a brand new government. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And sneezing and watery eyes aren't just for spring. We'll chat with a pharmacist about fall allergies and find out what's out there to help you deal with them.
Plus, the witch of Willow Sound. We'll chat with a local author, Vanessa Penny, about her scary new book. Perfect reading for this time of year, if you dare. All that and so much more just ahead on the Wednesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
On this Wednesday, the 15th of October. That's pretty mid-month, if you ask me. It's a Wednesday. It's halfway through the month, pretty much.
I know.
Technically, it's not quite halfway, because, of course, October has the 31st in it, which, how can we forget?
Yeah.
Halloween's on a Friday this year, too, so watch out, world.
Oh, I know. Party time, too.
Times.
And it's so great to have that conversation a little bit later with the pharmacist about fall allergies. Typically we think of spring, but that's not always the case. So if you think maybe you're starting to suffer from some allergy symptoms or you're looking for some relief, we'll have that conversation coming up in an hour.
You don't have to tell me. If there's an allergy season involved, I'm like right there,
yeah,
unfortunately.
No.
So weather-wise today, weather can factor into the allergy situation. We're looking at another nice day.
Yeah, we are above seasonal yet again today for much of the region. We're going to see some sunshine in the forecast, but also some precipitation moving back in, but very low and spotty in its activity.
Okay.
Basically not really even there, but isolated showers is expected for parts of the region. So we'll take a look at Halifax early this morning, a dark start to the day yet again for Argyle Street, as you can see here. 8 degrees starting off your day, so much warmer than we saw yesterday morning. Still a bit cool though, so keep that in mind when you are getting dressed to head out for your morning commute. As of right now, still quite cold in Fredericton with 4 degrees, 10 over in Charlottetown with 6 degrees in Sydney and in St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our satellite and radar. So we do have some isolated showers tracking across parts of the Maritime region. Seeing periods of drizzle early this morning for parts of Newfoundland and going to see mixed precipitation move in for parts of Labrador, but also going to see sunshine across parts of the region as well. In terms of the wind, it's remaining quite light today. As of right now, 28 kilometers per hour in Edmundston, 19 in Canso, 11 into Fredericton. Only one wind gust to notify you of as of right now, 44 kilometers per hour in Edmundston. We'll have a look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Time is 6:03. Voters in Newfoundland and Labrador showed they were in the mood for change, ousting the Liberal government after 10 years to elect Tony Wakeham and the Progressive Conservatives. The Tories snagged 21 seats after voting yesterday and will form a majority government. Wakeham won over voters by criticizing the Liberals' controversial energy deal with Quebec and focusing on cost of living issues.
We didn't quit. We kept believing in each other because we knew it wasn't over until that final buzzer and all the votes are counted. And tonight, we all know it, because we all feel it. There is nothing quite like a comeback.
The Liberals held on to 15 seats, while the NDP won 2 seats along with 2 independents. In Nova Scotia, a person is in hospital with life-threatening injuries after a police-involved shooting just outside Halifax. RCMP were responding to a report of physical assault at a residence in Eastern Passage just before 2 o'clock yesterday, when an police officer fired their gun and a person sustained life-threatening injuries. The person is currently in hospital. Police did not specify whether the person shot was a suspect. However, they say no one else was injured during the incident. The matter has been referred to the Serious Incident Response Team. New Brunswick's premier says she's not ruling anything out when it comes to fighting for the forestry sector.
What are the levers we can pull? What are the buttons we can push that will demonstrate to the U.S. that they want to house Americans. They need Canadian wood to do that. They need New Brunswick wood to do that because they don't have enough supply for their own interests.
Canadian softwood lumber exports to the U.S. now face combined duties and tariffs exceeding 45%. Susan Holt says retaliation isn't off the table. The industry is worth almost $1 billion to the province and employs, either directly or indirectly, about 26,000 people. Meantime, the president of the NB Federation of Woodlot Owners says they're still trying to get clarification on the tariffs, but adds some have already been told by U.S. markets they will not be taking Canadian wood until further notice. The Crown has wrapped its case in the manslaughter trial of a former bouncer at the now shuttered Halifax Ale House in late 2022. It's now up to Alexander Levy and his defense team to decide whether they will call any evidence. A fellow security guard took the stand and described the night Ryan Sawyer died as very busy. Court video showed Gregory White pull Ryan Sawyer from the altercation outside the bar and restrain him before, as White testified, Levy allegedly put Sawyer in what he described as a rear naked chokehold. A forensic pathologist testified later, saying the bruising on Sawyer's neck showed forceful compression consistent with choking and agreed it was the underlying cause of death. The Crown has now closed its case after 5 days of testimony. The defense will decide today whether to call any evidence in the case. As Latavia mentioned, we don't have any significant rainfall in the forecast. Conditions around the region remain unusually dry, which is especially concerning for communities that rely on wells.
I did some washes at my friend's place, and the long, luxurious showers are gone. Not quite sure how the community is going to get through the winter.
Half the community in Memramcook, New Brunswick, relies on wells, many of which have dried up. Late last week, the village announced it's offering financial help to those impacted by the water shortage by paying 75% of water delivery costs up to $1,000. And just yesterday, they opened a distribution center where residents can fill up. In Nova Scotia's Cumberland County, mandatory water restrictions that were introduced late in the summer are still in place. Officials say they may have to truck water in, which would mean a boil order for residents and businesses. Finally, according to a new report, Canadians are planning to spend a little more this holiday season, but will be focusing on spending smart.
Most Canadians are telling us that they are still very nervous about the economy. They still feel like they're spending more than they should be due to inflation, but it's not translating into how they're spending. And this is actually a very healthy trend for us. Should it continue, as a country, we're showing resiliency and resourcefulness, which is a great thing for our economy.
The 2025 Holiday Retail Outlook from Deloitte Canada shows holiday spending is projected to increase by 3% this year, with spending on gifts and experiences up 2%. The survey also showed that Canadians will try to spend where there is a loyalty program or where they are getting additional discounts. I mean, it's hard not to spend more, even if you're buying fewer items. Everything is just so much more expensive,
so expensive
now.
these days, I know. I'm looking forward to the holidays, though. Very much looking forward to that.
I mean, this could help with the holidays.
Yeah, this is the thing. If you want to do some holiday spending, be very, very generous. You can use this money however you like if you win our $20,000 giveaway. Today, it's time for the code word. So this is your code word today if you want to win the 20 grand. It's dream. Dream about what you would do with $20,000. Every penny of it you can use however the heck you like. So all you have to do is go to our website. There's a little contest page at the top, or scan the QR code. It takes you right to the page. All you have to do, enter the word dream, and good luck to you. Tune in again tomorrow for another chance to win.
Thanks so much for that, Crystal. All right, and good luck to you at home. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic as we take a live look. A lot of people still dreaming this morning if they're still sleeping. Like in downtown Fredericton, a live look at a very quiet Officers Square. Latavia will have your full forecast after this, and I'll have your national news headlines.
Taking a look at a dark start to the day over in Moncton. Happy Wednesday, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 6:12. Currently 6 degrees in your area. Expecting some isolated showers early in the morning, clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon before a chance of showers returns. And that's exactly what we're expecting for much of the region, with a cooler start to the day yet again. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca, and as you can see here, only 2 degrees heading outdoors in Labrador City, 6 over in St. John's, Newfoundland, 4 degrees in Fredericton with 10 over in Charlottetown, 9 degrees starting off your day in Halifax with 3 degrees into Sydney. Over to our forecast timeline. Some isolated showers for parts of all 3 maritime provinces early in the morning. Also seeing some wet weather track across parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. Newfoundland seeing some periods of drizzle early in the morning and seeing mixed precipitation move back in for parts of Labrador. Into the afternoon, we're still going to see some isolated showers tracking across parts of New Brunswick as well as Prince Edward Island. Seeing some sunshine also into the afternoon for parts of Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island as well. And then into the evening and overnight hours, we're still going to see a chance of showers for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, taking us into Thursday, where we do have showers tracking across the region yet again. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, going to remain quite light, only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters for parts of all 3 maritime provinces and light amounts of precipitation for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. So for our forecast today for New Brunswick, seeing some isolated showers early in the morning, clearing out, leaving mainly cloudy skies, seeing evening showers return. Daytime highs will range from 11 to 14 degrees and wind picking up out of the north, 20 gusting to 40. For Prince Edward Island, we are going to see isolated showers early in the morning, clearing, leaving mainly sunny skies. Showers will return into the evening hours with highs between 13 to 15 degrees being the warmest into Charlottetown. Over to Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia. Going to be seeing lots of sunshine throughout your day. We do have some isolated showers expected tracking for parts of eastern Nova Scotia, but not carrying into the evening hours, and pretty light wind for this part of Nova Scotia. For the rest of the province, looking at highs between 13 to 19 degrees being the warmest into Bridgewater and Shelburne. Looking at a mix of sun and cloud throughout the day, but we do have some isolated showers early in the morning expected for mainland Nova Scotia, clearing but returning into the evening. For Newfoundland and Labrador, we will be seeing mainly cloudy skies today with a high of 5 degrees in Labrador City. And for Newfoundland and St. John's, 9 degrees, looking at some periods of drizzle, clearing out, leaving cloudy skies. For Thursday's forecast, we will be seeing a few showers tracking across the maritime region, also seeing some wet weather for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. Into our forecast for Friday, showers clear out for the Maritimes, leaving sunshine yet again in our forecast, increasing cloudiness into the afternoon, but still seeing a mix of sun and cloud. We do have some mixed precipitation expected for parts of Labrador. That's a look at your weather forecast on this Wednesday. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thank you so much, Latavia. U.S. President Donald Trump has followed through with his threat to ramp up the trade war with Canada. New tariffs are now in effect and could have a devastating impact on businesses in our region and across the country. CTV's Mike LeCouture reports.
Some are calling it devastation on top of an already bad situation. With new tariffs taking effect today on lumber and some furniture, the head of one company is worried about his firm's future.
We used to employ 400 people. Now we are less than 100. That was before the 45% duties.
With the additional levy added at midnight, lumber producers now face 45% tariffs on softwood. There's also a 25% tax on furniture like kitchen cabinets and vanities. On January 1st, that will double to 50%.
This additional tariff means that Canadian wood has a higher tariff rate going to the United States than Russia does.
It's going to mean a loss of jobs. It's going to mean a loss of economic activity. It hits, and it hits in a really serious way.
The Canadian Kitchen Cabinet Association represents 3,700 companies, and many of their goods go south.
Some of them were exporting up to 80% of their product to the U.S. I mean, you know, some of these companies employ 500 people, and they just can't turn around on a dime.
The association wants the federal government to institute a Buy Canadian provision on taxpayer-funded housing projects to favor local companies, while the forestry industry wants Canadian and American negotiators to make lumber a priority in the ongoing trade talks.
We get this is complex. There are a lot of balls in the air here. But in the last week, our workers in forestry are not feeling like we're a priority.
In an interview on CTV's Question Period, Industry Minister Melanie Joly said the federal government is focused on negotiating deals for all industries affected by tariffs, including lumber.
CTV's Mike Licatore reporting in Ottawa. Automaker Stellantis announced plans to move production of the Jeep Compass from Canada to the United States. Workers at the plant in Brampton, Ontario are set to lose their jobs as the company plans to spend $13 billion to expand production in Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, and Indiana and add 5,000 new jobs in the United States. Prime Minister Mark Carney said in a statement that he will work with the government of Ontario to help protect the workers and create new opportunities. Canada Post has resumed mail delivery, but not for everyone and not all the time. The union representing postal workers has implemented rotating work stoppages during the ongoing strike. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth has more.
Postal worker Sam Metzler is back doing his daily rounds.
It's definitely a little awkward to be back without, a contract.
Metzler's strike pay was a fraction of his Canada Post earnings, and he's relieved to be making his regular wage again.
It is a little nice being back to work, that's for sure. And get some money in our bank accounts.
According to the Canadian Union of Postal Workers, the rotating strike is aimed at reducing disruptions and to provide postal employees with a financial boost.
Start moving the mail for the customers and also take some of the pressure off the members.
The strike began September 25th. It's the second work stoppage within a year. Canada Post says it's waiting to hear back from the union on its latest offer. And as employees return to work, customers should expect delays in processing and delivery. Artist Suzanne O'Callaghan ships 7,000 paintings a year and says even a short-term pause to the strike gives her business a chance to survive.
I am so happy. I just hugged all the people that work in there.
The union expects the rotating strike to eventually impact this province, but workers may only get several hours notice before their next work stoppage, which means they are taking a day-to-day approach as they return to work. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you so much, Paul. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, our colleagues from TSN will have your must-see moment. That is on the other side of the short break. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
The great one, Wayne Gretzky.
Absolutely. I was just telling Crystal during that I thought Wayne Gretzky played for the Leafs.
Well, he did not.
Yeah, all this time.
No one watching would think, but that's okay. That was well before your time.
Yeah, it was.
Well before
it was,
your time.
at least.
But so I was around then and fully sentient, and that he played for the Oilers originally, which is a big deal. So the fact that he made that scoring thing on the
Listen, don't judge me, Amanda.
Team. No, we're not judging. We're not judging.
No, not you.
But no, Amanda's heckling. If you can't hear, she's heckling from the newsroom as she is wont to do. But no, we have a little bit of fun here, and that was probably early in the season for Wayne Gretzky to get such a big milestone goal against his old team.
Absolutely. I know he's a legend.
Okay, he is a legend, known as the Great One. Okay, now it's time to check in with the people who really know what they're talking about, our friends at TSN Sports Center, for today's must-see moment.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And for it, we take you to Italy, where they were taking on Israel in World Cup qualifying. Israel working the ball out when Matteo Retegui steals it, dribbles in, bends one right into the side netting. An all-around great play from Italy's number 9, creating the chance and then finishing it off. His second goal of the match, but that one would be your must-see moment. And coming up tonight on TSN, we got a little Raptors preseason basketball as they take on the Boston Celtics. Coverage for that one gets underway at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. That's all from SportsCenter. Have a great day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
All right, now we're going to take a look at your business headlines from our colleagues over at BNN.
The deal that would allow Sunoco to acquire Parkland has passed a key hurdle. The $9 billion U.S. agreement would allow Sunoco, an American fuel distributor, to take over Parkland, a retailer and refiner based in Alberta. It has passed a review under the Investment of Canada Act, which weighs the benefit of foreign ownership in a Canadian company. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar didn't change much. It ended the day at 71.21. West Texas Intermediate crude is down 80 cents to 58.27. Western Canadian Select is down more than $2 to 47.77. And the TSX shot up over 500 points today, sending it back up over 30,000. Those are your business headlines. I'm Morella Fernandez.
Taking a look at our 3-day forecast, looking at some isolated showers early in the morning, clearing, leaving mainly cloudy skies, seeing the return of some isolated showers into the afternoon for parts of the province with a high of 13. Below seasonal daytime high on Thursday at 10 degrees with showers across the province. And then on Friday, warming back up to 13, looking at a mix of sun and cloud. Nova Scotia is looking at a high of 16 degrees today, seeing some sunshine, but also some isolated showers early in the morning, clearing, seeing showers return into the evening. On Thursday, a high of 13 degrees, scattered showers across the province. And then on Friday, looking at some isolated showers with a daytime high holding at 13. Prince Edward Island's looking at 15 degrees today. Isolated showers early in the morning, then clearing, leaving sunshine across the island. Evening showers returning. And then on Thursday, isolated showers across the island with a high of 13 degrees. 12 on Friday with scattered showers across the island. Time now, 6:27. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Just ahead in this half hour, the Move Morning Chat. Today we're talking about gifts. Yeah, I know, despite the video, we're talking about gifts, not just any gifts, strange gifts. That conversation coming up on the Wednesday edition of CTV's Your Morning Atlantic.
Oh boy, I cannot wait for this conversation and to hear from you at home about the weirdest gifts that you ever received. And why we're talking about that and why we're showing bidets. That's coming up in 15 minutes here on Your Morning Atlantic. But people in Newfoundland and Labrador are waking up to a new provincial government. PCs had a win last night. I'll have those details coming up in the news. But how is the weather there on the Rock this morning?
It's a little wet starting off the day, foggy and some light drizzle early this morning, as you can see from our live eye over in St. John's. 6 degrees starting off your day. Now, precipitation expected to clear, but still going to be left with cloudy skies throughout your day today. And we are seeing a bit of wet weather tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada today, and a bit of a cool start to the day for parts of the region yet again. 4 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton, a bit warmer over in Charlottetown with 10 degrees, 9 in Halifax, 3 currently in Sydney, 2 degrees over in Labrador City. So you can see that green indicated on our satellite and radar, showing some isolated showers tracking across parts of all 3 maritime provinces early this morning. Also going to see wet weather persist across parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. Clearing into the afternoon, leaving some sunshine. So because of this, still focusing in on the UV index, it is dipping due to precipitation, now tracking low to moderate throughout the maritime region. also tracking low to moderate for both Newfoundland and Labrador today. And in terms of the wind, it's going to remain quite light for much of the maritime region. As of right now, 28 kilometers per hour in Edmundston, 17 in Canso with 13 kilometers per hour starting off your day in Moncton, 11 in Sydney. Only one wind gust getting up to 44 kilometers per hour in Edmundston. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast, but first another look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you so much, Latavia. Voters in Newfoundland and Labrador showed they were in the mood for change, ousting the Liberal government after 10 years to elect Tony Wakeham and the Progressive Conservatives. The Tories snagged 21 seats after voting yesterday and will form a majority government. Wakeham won over voters by criticizing the Liberals' controversial energy deal with Quebec and focusing on cost of living issues.
We didn't quit. We kept believing in each other because we knew it wasn't over until that final buzzer and all the votes are counted. And tonight, we all know it because we all feel it. There is nothing quite like a comeback.
The Liberals held on to 15 seats, while the NDP won 2 seats, along with 2 independents. In Nova Scotia, a person is in hospital with life-threatening injuries after a police-involved shooting just outside Halifax. RCMP were responding to a report of physical assault at a home in Eastern Passage just before 2 o'clock yesterday when a police officer fired their gun and a person suffered life-threatening injuries. The person is currently in hospital. Police did not specify whether the person shot was a suspect. However, they say no one else was injured during the incident. The matter has been referred to CERT. New Brunswick's premier says she's not ruling anything out when it comes to fighting for the forestry sector.
What are the levers we can pull? What are the buttons we can push that will demonstrate to the U.S. that they want to house Americans? They need Canadian wood to do that. They need New Brunswick wood to do that because they don't have enough supply for their own interests.
Canadian softwood lumber exports to the U.S. now face combined duties and tariffs exceeding 45%. Susan Holt says retaliation isn't off the table. The industry is worth almost $1 billion to the province and employs, either directly or indirectly, about 26,000 people. The president of the NB Federation of Woodlot Owners says they're still trying to get clarification on the tariffs, but adds some have already been told by U.S. markets they will not be taking Canadian wood until further notice. The Crown has wrapped up its case in the manslaughter trial of a former bouncer at the now shuttered Halifax Ale House in late 2022. It's now up to Alexander Levy and his defense team to decide whether they will call any evidence. A fellow security guard took the stand and described the night Ryan Sawyer died as very busy. Court video showed Gregory White pull Ryan Sawyer from the altercation outside the bar and restrain him before, as White testified, Levy allegedly put Sawyer in what he described as a rear naked chokehold. A forensic pathologist testified later, saying the bruising on Sawyer's neck showed forceful compression consistent with choking and agreed it was the underlying cause of death. The Crown has now closed its case after 5 days of testimony. The defense will decide today whether to call any evidence in the case. Canada Post workers are back at work, but are technically still striking.
Definitely a little awkward to be back without, a contract like set in place and going on rotating. But yeah, it's a little stressful being back.
The nationwide work stoppage that started nearly 3 weeks ago is still going on, but there are now rotating strikes. It means mail is moving again, but not on a regular schedule. The union says the goal is to minimize service disruptions as negotiations between the company and its workers continue. Local businesses say deliveries can't come fast enough.
We have customers in Toronto that are tried and true customers. They're very loyal to us. They expect their treats pretty quickly, and they deserve that. So not being able to offer a reliable source on getting our product to them is very difficult.
This small business manager says they have sent some products out with a different courier only because there's no telling when shipments through Canada Post would make it. Finally, it seems the island nation of Cyprus in the Mediterranean has a bit of a problem with wild cats. Estimated 1 million cats are prowling the streets of Cyprus, roughly the equivalent of 1 cat for every human. And there are concerns they could wreak havoc on the island's ecosystem because, of course, they're predatory. Under the current government program, only about 2,000 wild cats are sterilized in Cyprus each year. Activists say along with more funding, conservationist teams are needed to more effectively round up the strays, especially females, to be spayed.
Well, I'm sorry that this is kind of a bad news story, but it's hard to think so with this amazing visual.
I know.
We have of the cats of
Can you
Cyprus.
imagine 1 for every human?
Oh my goodness.
That's a lot of cats.
That's a lot of cats.
There are a lot of wild cats in Greece as well. We saw a lot of wild cats. Some of them are tame, some of them are not. My daughter went to go pet one that was sitting on the back of a motorcycle, looked really cute. She went, oh, how cute.
Oh,
never mind.
No.
Some are really tame, though. Anyway, worth a trip to Cyprus.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we love getting your photos. So here's an example of one sent in by viewer Donna in St. John. She caught a glimpse of this deer nibbling on the autumn grasses. She said, oh dear, it's cute. And she's right. So thanks so much, Donna. And this is just a little reminder that you can send us your photos at Your Morning Atlantic at ctv.ca or text us at 10400.
Oh.
Hope he gets off the road. That's not,
a little
close for comfort, but good shot all the same.
And speaking of sending us a text, we want to hear your opinion on the Move Morning Chat. After this break, Latavia will have the forecast, and then we are asking the question about what's a strange gift you've received? And do you know why? We want to hear about it. Yeah, toasters could be that. I mean, unless you want one. What if you didn't ask for one? We're talking strange gifts in the Move Morning Chat when we return.
Bit of a cool start to the day over in Antigonish. Welcome back. The time now is 6:41. It's currently 8 degrees in your area. We do have a chance of some isolated showers expected early this morning. If you do get precipitation, that will clear out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud a little bit later into the morning. It is a cool start to the day for much of the region, but a bit warmer than we saw yesterday at least. 4 degrees as of right now in Fredericton, 10 degrees starting off your day in Charlottetown with 9 in Halifax, 3 degrees currently in Sydney, and 6 into St. John's. Over to our forecast timeline, we do have a bit of precipitation tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada, seeing a chance of some isolated showers for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. For Labrador, seeing some showers as well as periods of drizzle for parts of Newfoundland. A bit of a cloudy and foggy start to the day over in Newfoundland as well. Over to our forecast today, this afternoon, we will be seeing some precipitation still sticking around into the afternoon, some isolated showers, but also seeing a mix of sun and cloud for much of the maritime region. And into the evening hours, still seeing lingering precipitation for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Newfoundland and Labrador seeing a bit of precipitation as well, taking us into early Thursday morning. We are going to see temperatures cool down, but precipitation sticking around. But if you're wondering about the totals, it's going to remain quite light, only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters of precipitation for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, and pretty light precipitation expected for both Newfoundland and Labrador. For our forecast today, seeing some isolated showers for New Brunswick early in the morning, clearing, leaving some sunny breaks, and then seeing a chance of isolated showers returning into the afternoon for parts of the province, with daytime highs ranging from 11 to 14 degrees. Prince Edward Island will see highs between 13 to 15. Also seeing some isolated showers early in the morning, will clear, leaving mainly sunny skies. Seeing a chance of showers return into the evening. For Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, same thing applies. For the most part, a mix of sun and cloud, but we do have some isolated showers tracking parts of eastern Nova Scotia. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, isolated showers early in the morning, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud, seeing a chance of showers return into the evening with daytime highs between 14 to 19 degrees. Then for Newfoundland and Labrador, for the most part, mainly cloudy skies today with a high of 5 degrees in Labrador City. Periods of drizzle early this morning for St. John's, will clear, leaving cloudy skies into the afternoon with a high of 9. Thursday's forecast, looking at a few showers still tracking across much of Atlantic Canada. And then into Friday's forecast, we're going to see temperatures warm up just a bit. For the most part, seeing sunshine, but also a cloudier day ahead for parts of the region, and still seeing mixed precipitation for parts of Labrador, a chance of showers for parts of Newfoundland. That's a look at your weather forecast. Now we'll throw things over to the Move Morning Chat. It's that time again for the Move Morning Chat. This morning, we're talking about the strangest gift you've ever received. So, Erin, I know you have a story for us. Take it away.
Yeah, we had to be talking about this on the show this morning because I mentioned to Peter, I got a gift the other day from my partner, and I'm moving, so this is kind of a housewarming gift for myself. But she gave me a bidet, and I thought, I don't know how normal this is to gift, you know, somebody in your life, but it's one of those bidets that you just kind of attach. You don't have to actually install anything there. But I told Peter this, and he said, that's kind of a strange gift to receive from your partner. So we threw it out to the Move family. They thought it was kind of strange, but also if you're a bidet person, I mean, the bidet people love it. So apparently my life is changed.
Yes.
But you thought it was kind of weird, Peter.
I did, an aftermarket bidet, but yes. And what I had to add to the conversation this morning was a gift that I received from my, how do we put it, eccentric aunt. Back when I was about 16 years old. We loved her to death, by the way, our aunt, but she gave the strangest gifts. 16 years old, opened up the gift, and it was a toaster. My family had a toaster, but now I had my own toaster. I had a room toaster for my very own room. So I could make my toast, I guess, whenever I wanted to.
Something 16-year-olds always want. And I guess with the bidet, is that something like the gift you give someone who has everything?
Apparently. I guess.
Well, that's hilarious. But I do hear from bidet users that once you have one, you don't go back. Okay, mine is not as exciting as you two. I just remember being a young teenager, and for Christmas, my parents got me like an unofficial Johnny Depp biography book.
Ooh.
But like, I wasn't a huge Johnny Depp fan. It wasn't even official. And I was like, so it was a small thing. And I remember thinking like, thanks, like you try, but I never use it, never read it.
Love Johnny Depp. But for me, it would probably be like my grandma as she got older. Her gifts didn't make sense. And every time, like me and my cousins, we were looking at each other like, what? Like it'd include like Band-Aids or a scarf when we hated scarves, or like a random hat that had like really creepy or weird like decoration. Like just like random stuff that we're like, do you not know us at all? But obviously we were grateful regardless.
Oh my gosh. It's the thought that counts, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're putting the question to our viewers this morning. Let us know and tell us the whole story behind it. What is the strangest gift you've ever received? Tell us the story, your first name and where you're from, and we'll share the answers later in the show. You can text us at 10400, standard message and data rates supply. We'll be right back.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
All right, it's 6:51, and it's now time to head over to Hollywood and take a look at your entertainment headlines.
Tributes are pouring in for D'Angelo, the R&B icon who passed away after a battle with pancreatic cancer. Jamie Foxx taking to Instagram, calling D'Angelo one of God's special creations and that his impression will be felt for generations to come. Doja Cat, meanwhile, said he was a true voice of soul and inspiration to many brilliant artists. D'Angelo broke through with his first album, Brown Sugar, in 1995, which he followed up in 2000 with a chart-topping Voodoo, which won Best R&B Album at the Grammys. He also won Best R&B Performance for that album's single, untitled How Does It Feel? Michael D'Angelo Archer was 51. And another celebrity passing to tell you about, Drew Struzan, has died at 78. He was the artist behind the iconic posters of movies like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, and The Thing. Niecy Nash-Betts has been named Out 100 Icon of the Year. She's known for her roles in shows like Claws and Reno 911. She tells ABC News she's beyond proud and says, quote, "It means an awful lot for me to be a role model for the LGBTQ+ community." Other honorees of the Out 100 awards include Doechii, Bob Mackie, Rosie O'Donnell, and Tremel Tillman. And And happy birthday to Keisha Cole, the R&B artist known as a princess of hip-hop soul, turns 44 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Alex Stone, ABC News.
Is it wrong that I want that style to come back?
Right? It is slowly.
Okay.
Slowly but surely.
Let's talk about the gifts thing.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to know your strange gifts that you received.
I'm trying to think. This is not that strange, but when I was a kid, maybe high school age, I received a sweatshirt. It was a white sweatshirt with like an airbrushed cat on it, and it had rhinestone eyes. And at the time, I thought it was hideous, and I just shoved it in the back of a drawer and never wore it. Now I would kill for that thing.
Right? There's so many things that you could think of, like even clothing-wise, that you would never have worn back then. Now you're like, rats, I wish I had it.
Exactly. So true.
So funny.
Oh my gosh. All right, this is shifting gears. This is a very important story.
Absolutely. All right, so fire officials have been sounding the alarm about the dangers related to lithium-ion batteries. They can actually catch fire when tossed in the garbage or left to charge on soft surfaces.
And this next story shows just how flammable these batteries can be. A dog got a hold of a lithium-ion battery. It's sparking a fire inside a North Carolina home. NBC's Heidi Kirk shows us what happened.
It was a near miss for this 5-year-old rescue, Colton. His owner shared this video with us, moments after he grabbed a lithium-ion battery-powered device, broke the safety seal, and chewed up the battery, leading to this.
He bit into it, and you can see it, he's surprised by it, and then he's like, uh-oh, what did I do?
Sasser, who's a firefighter himself, says the fire was out within minutes.
Thankfully, it pretty much fizzled out because of the rug and because we were home so quick. So
is the rug still over there?
Oh no, that was the only thing we lost.
WRAL has reported on the dangers of these batteries before. While they're safe to use, they can spark fires if not taken care of.
When you're done charging them, you have to really pay attention and unplug them. You have to make sure you store them, where they can't get broken or cracked or chewed on by a dog. And then when you're done with them, they have to be disposed in a specific way.
In Raleigh, lithium batteries have been linked to about a dozen fires in the past year. And in Durham, 2 trash trucks caught on fire after batteries were thrown away instead of recycled. For Sasser, it's a reminder to use his platform to let people know how to use them safely. And thankfully, Colton is okay.
Yeah, thankfully that worked out in the end. Happening now in local news in Newfoundland and Labrador, Tony Wakeham led his progressive Conservatives to a slim majority, toppling the Liberals from a 10-year reign. Plus, a person is in hospital with life-threatening injuries after they were shot by an RCMP officer in Eastern Passage, Nova Scotia. And New Brunswick's premier says retaliation is not off the table now that 45% U.S. tariffs are in place for softwood lumber. We'll have those details coming up next in your local news headlines. But first, it is a look at the 3-day forecast with Latavia.
Thanks, Amanda. Looking at mainly cloudy skies with isolated showers into the afternoon, a high of 13 degrees. Daytime high on Thursday drops below seasonal with 10 degrees and showers across the province. Sunshine returns on Friday, warming back up to 13. Nova Scotia looking at some isolated showers starting off the day, clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. We do have showers returning into the evening with a high of 16 degrees today. Thursday looking at a high of 13, seeing scattered showers move in across the province. And then on Friday, isolated showers, daytime high remains at 13. For Prince Edward Island, looking at a high of 15 degrees today, mainly sunny start to your day, evening showers. And then on Thursday, isolated showers track across the island with a high of 13. And then on Friday, 12 degrees as your daytime high with scattered showers across the island. Now we'll throw things over to Crystal.
Thanks, Latavia. I get to remind everybody how they can connect with us because we love to hear from our viewers. To email us, go to yourmorningatlantic@ctv.ca. That's our new email address. And you can text us at 10400 anytime you like. We love to hear from you. Send us your photos, send us your comments, even send us your videos. It is now 6:57. We'll take a small break and return right after this.
It's Wednesday, October 15th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, PC majority win. Voters in Newfoundland and Labrador have elected a brand new government. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And fall allergies, they impact so many Canadians when the weather becomes damp and dusty heaters come on. A local pharmacist will help us with symptoms and solutions this half hour.
Good morning, Atlantic, Canada. It is Wednesday. I was going to say Friday. Oh, my goodness.
Hey, it's not Friday yet.
Not yet. It's Wednesday, October 15th.
It is, but a short work and school week for so many, courtesy of the Thanksgiving long weekend. Thank you.
Yep. I feel like after you get stuffed for Thanksgiving, literally, on a Monday, then it's like you don't know where you are in the week. That's what happened to me, really. I was like, is it Monday? No, it's Tuesday.
It's hard to keep track.
Exactly.
It can
hard to
be.
keep track.
I find it's that time after Christmas, right after Boxing Day, the weird time between Boxing Day and New Year's. That can be an odd time, but.
Well, we saw the visuals, fall allergy season, but it's also fall color season.
Oh my goodness, that footage was beautiful.
So many places in our region are gorgeous. There's another reminder, if you have photos of the beautiful fall colors in your region, send them to us. We love to, see that kind of thing. Then we can even go visit that on the weekends.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
10400 is the number.
Okay, so weather-wise, I saw, oh my heavens, this looks so beautiful. Wow.
It's like a painting.
This is just our live eye shot. Holy moly.
I know. I can't lie. The sunrises, like lately, have been gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. But feeling a bit crisp early this morning. Just something to keep in mind when you are heading out. We are going to see temperatures warm up, still remaining above seasonal for much of the region. But as of right now, it is only 2 degrees as you head outdoors in Labrador City, 6 over in St. John's, 4 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton, 10 right now in Charlottetown with 9 in Halifax, and 3 degrees in Sydney, 10 in Yarmouth. Over to our satellite and radar, we do have a bit of precipitation tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada early this morning. Some isolated showers for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Also seeing a chance of showers early this morning for parts of Labrador. And then periods of drizzle and a foggy start to the day for much of Newfoundland. We will be seeing sunshine into the afternoon as precipitation clears out of parts of Atlantic Canada. Over to the winds for the maritime region. As of right now, 26 kilometers per hour in Edmundston, 17 starting off your day in Canso with 11 kilometers per hour in Sydney, 13 in Moncton. Only 1 wind gust at this time, getting up to 41 kilometers per hour in Edmundston. I'll have a look at your rainfall totals and your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Time is 7:03. Voters in Newfoundland and Labrador showed they were in the mood for change, ousting the Liberal government after 10 years to elect Tony Wakeham and the Progressive Conservatives. The Tories snagged 21 seats after voting yesterday and will form a majority government. Wakeham won over voters by criticizing the Liberals' controversial energy deal with Quebec and focusing on cost of living issues.
We didn't quit. We kept believing in each other because we knew it wasn't over until that final buzzer and all the votes are counted. And tonight, we all know it because we all feel it. There is nothing quite like a comeback.
The Liberals held on to 15 seats while the NDP won 2, along with 2 independents. In Nova Scotia, a person is in hospital with life-threatening injuries after a police-involved shooting just outside Halifax. RCMP were responding to a report of physical assault at a residence in Eastern Passage just before 2 o'clock yesterday when a police officer fired their gun and a person suffered life-threatening injuries. The person is currently in hospital. Police did not specify whether the person shot was a suspect. However, they say no one else was injured during the incident. The matter has been referred to the Serious Incident Response Team. The Crown has wrapped up its case in the manslaughter trial of a former bouncer at the now shuttered Halifax Ale House in late 2022. It's now up to Alexander Levy and his defense team to decide whether they'll call any evidence. A fellow security guard took the stand yesterday and described the night Ryan Sawyer died as very busy. Court video showed Gregory White pull Ryan Sawyer from the altercation outside the bar and restrain him before, as White testified, Levy allegedly put Sawyer in what he described as a rear naked chokehold. A forensic pathologist testified later, saying the bruising on Sawyer's neck showed forceful compression consistent with choking and agreed it was the underlying cause of death. The Crown has now closed its case after 5 days of testimony. The defense will decide today whether to call any evidence in the case. New Brunswick's premier says she is not ruling anything out when it comes to fighting for the forestry sector.
What are the levers we can pull? What are the buttons we can push that will demonstrate to the U.S. that they want to house Americans. They need Canadian wood to do that. They need New Brunswick wood to do that because they don't have enough supply for their own interests.
Canadian softwood lumber exports to the U.S. now face combined duties and tariffs exceeding 45%. Susan Holt says retaliation isn't off the table. The industry is worth almost $1 billion to the province and employs 26,000 people. The president of the NB Federation of Woodlot Owners says they're still trying to get clarification on the tariffs, but add some have already been told by U.S. markets they will not be taking Canadian wood until further notice. Now, as Latavia mentioned, we don't have any significant rainfall in the forecast. Conditions around the region remain unusually dry for this time of year, which is especially concerning for communities that rely on wells.
I did some washes at my friend's place, and the long, luxurious showers are gone. Not quite sure how the community is going to get through the winter.
Half of the community in Memramcook, New Brunswick, relies on wells, many of which have dried up. Late last week, the village announced they are offering financial help to those impacted by the water shortage by paying 75% of water delivery costs up to $1,000. And just yesterday, they opened a distribution center where residents can fill up. And in Nova Scotia's Cumberland County, mandatory water restrictions that were introduced in the summer are still in place. Officials there say they may have to truck water in, which would mean a boil order for residents and businesses. Finally, another sign of the season, the Radio City Rockettes are kicking into high gear in New York City with rehearsals for the 2025 Christmas Spectacular. Look at that precision. Oh my gosh, this is just the beginning of the rehearsals. The annual holiday tradition is returning to the famous Radio City Music Hall next month, with shows running from November 6th to January 4th, so starting in just a few weeks. The show's director says the group is raising the bar this season with new technology and precise choreography. Tradition, though, remains the heart of the production, which originally debuted. Do you know when it started? Do you have any guesses?
1937.
Oh, very close.
Really?
Yeah, almost 100 years ago, 1933.
What? Oh, you were real close.
You were really close. And Crystal, you've seen the Rock.
I saw the Christmas show. Could not recommend highly enough. It's so good. Radio City Music Hall itself is so good.
Wow.
Wow, incredible.
So awesome. The costumes, it's over the top. And if they're saying it's going to be extra great this year, gosh, I can only imagine. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Athleticism, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh, to pull off a show like that and smile the whole time, like it's a physical performance.
They are all living their best lives.
Wow. Yeah, they're happy.
All right. It's woolly caterpillar weather prediction season, all right? So let's get caught up on this stuff, okay? This is a reminder of how to interpret the brown and black prognosticators, okay? So this is a little chart. You can see basically in a nutshell, the more black there is, the harsher the winter, and then depending on where the black is located, we're going to get more snow early or late. For example, the bottom caterpillar, that would indicate heavier snow at the beginning of the season, but pretty light at the end of the season.
Okay.
Get it? Okay, so here is a caterpillar I got in Cape Breton over the weekend. So what are your interpretations, ladies? What kind of winter are we going to have based on this caterpillar?
Medium.
Okay, oh, it's moving.
Which end is
That's
which?
great. That's a great point. Control room says which end is which. It's moving. Its head is the larger amount of black. It's heading towards the top of the screen.
Okay.
Heading north, yes. I would guess that it's going to be a relatively, I think we're going to get a lot of snow. Yeah, we'll go back to the chart for a second. See? I'm thinking it's more like the bottom one.
Begins mild and then ends harshly.
Yeah, so we'll see how it's harsh. Like, look at the, I think it's the bottom one. Look, go back to back to the little critter again.
That's the one I was reading too.
So harsher at the beginning of the season, so a lot of snow earlier, and then not too bad in the spring, which is the way I would like it to be, actually.
Well, you know what?
This
little guy is tracking with the Farmer's Almanac because they predicted that we are going to see more snow this year, but a mild winter.
Mild winter, and I heard it's going to be a little bit earlier snow this year, so that's a good reminder to get the snow tires on the car, probably in October.
And we're going to have CAA talking on our show on Thursday, too, to talk about that as well. I did see a fuzzy, woolly caterpillar on my walk yesterday, but it was a little too squished to look at the coloring.
Well, if you see any live ones in your region, Not the dead ones like Amanda. If you see live ones, send us your photos and we'll interpret, because that was Cape Breton. I have not seen one in the Halifax area
I
yet.
haven't actually either.
Okay, there we go.
Not a live one. All right, we're going to take a quick break. This is also a time of the season, too. Seasonal allergies, they don't only come in the spring. A pharmacist will help us navigate fall allergies. That's coming up in 10 minutes here on Your Morning Atlantic.
Taking a look at Brookvale this morning. Happy Wednesday, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 7:13. Currently 7 degrees in your area. We are expecting a chance of some isolated showers early this morning, but seeing sunshine as we head towards this afternoon, looking at mainly sunny skies. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca, and we are going to see another cool start to the day. Temperatures will warm up above seasonal for our daytime highs for much of the region. As of right now, though, only 4 degrees as you head outdoors in Fredericton, 9 degrees over in Charlottetown and in Halifax, with 3 starting off your day in Sydney, 6 degrees over in St. John's, and 2 degrees starting off your day in Labrador City. Over to our forecast timeline. We are seeing a bit of precipitation tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada early this morning. Seeing some isolated showers early this morning for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Also seeing a chance of some showers moving in across parts of Labrador. Periods of drizzle and a foggy start to the day for Newfoundland. Into the afternoon, we will be seeing precipitation continue. Just a chance of isolated showers still lurking across parts of the maritime region, but also going to see some sunshine for parts of Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia, taking us into the evening hours. Still seeing a chance of showers for parts of all 3 maritime provinces into early Thursday morning, where we do have a chance of showers to continue across the region. If you are wondering about totals, we are only going to see around 2 to 5 millimeters for parts of the maritime region, and pretty light precipitation indicated for both Newfoundland and Labrador. For our forecast today, we're going to see mainly cloudy skies for New Brunswick. A chance of showers moves into the afternoon, only around a 30% chance of it happening, with daytime highs between 11 to 14 degrees and wind out of the north, 20 gusting to 40. For Prince Edward Island, highs between 13 to 16 degrees being the warmest into Charlottetown. Mainly sunny skies today with a chance of showers into the evening. Wind pretty light out of the northwest, 20 kilometers per hour. And then for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, seeing a lot of sunshine throughout the day. We do have some spotty precipitation for eastern Nova Scotia, around isolated showers, so around a 30% chance of it happening. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, highs will range from 13 to 19 degrees, being the warmest into Bridgewater and Shelburne. Some isolated showers early in the morning, clearing, leaving sunshine, and then seeing a chance of isolated showers returning into the evening. For Newfoundland and Labrador, mainly cloudy skies today with a high of 6 degrees in Labrador City. 9 into St. John's, looking at periods of drizzle early in the morning. Cloudy skies for the remainder of the day. So for forecast on Thursday, a few showers will track across parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Seeing wet weather for both Newfoundland and Labrador. Temperatures cooling down, and then into Friday, temperatures will warm back up just a bit. And we are going to see sunshine return in the forecast for much of the maritime region. Still seeing some spotty precipitation for both Newfoundland and Labrador. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. Time is 7:16. The Toronto Blue Jays are in Seattle tonight to play the Mariners. It is a critical playoff game for the Jays, who are trailing 2-0 in the series. CTV's Ben Milger has more on how Canadian fans are traveling to support their team.
The Blue Jays feel right at home in Seattle's T-Mobile Park, thanks to the support of Canadian fans who make the trip from British Columbia.
590, that's down the first baseline, 590.
With the Jays and Mariners competing for a spot in the World Series, demand for tickets has skyrocketed, along with the prices.
As soon as they knew that they were going up against Seattle, my phone messages were inundated with people wanting to get tickets for the Jays.
On Tuesday afternoon, the cheapest ticket for Game 3 was $266 Canadian on StubHub. A spot in a suite behind home plate for Friday's potential Game 5 is listed for over $4,000. Prices and politics could determine the size of the Canadian crowd.
Yes, but not as big as it used to be because of the American stuff. Like, I'm not going there, period. So I'm not going to see the games.
Seattle, leading 2-0, can reach their first ever World Series with 2 more victories.
Do you anticipate that there will be a lot of Canadian fans who manage to get tickets for tomorrow night's game?
I don't think it'll happen this time. I think Seattleites will buy up the tickets and not sell to Toronto fans.
Ticket broker Kingsley Bailey says demand on the Canadian side has dipped since the Jays dropped the first 2 games. But if they win one of the next 2, he expects prices to soar for Game 5.
Seattle hasn't gone to the playoffs for such a long time, so there's such a demand for that. And then you throw that into the fact that they're going up against a Canadian team and everybody's going to go down the I-5 to catch a game. So the demand is huge for tickets.
The Jays will be looking to extend the series and get home to the real friendly confines of the Rogers Centre for Games 6 and 7. Ben Milger, CTV News, Vancouver.
Thank you, Ben. We'll see what happens tonight. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we are talking fall allergies, how to recognize the symptoms and how to handle them. That's coming up on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Here's a reminder that we're giving away $20,000, and today we're going to show you the new code word. It's DREAM. So head over to the contest page on ctvatlantic.ca or scan the QR code that's going to pop up on your screen. Enter into the information along with the new code word for your chance to win. All right, make sure to watch us tomorrow for a brand new code word. Good luck. We're going to throw things over to Crystal.
Thanks, Latavia. 7:22. Now, fall is a beautiful season around here, but it can be a tough time for allergy sufferers. Here to help us recognize and manage symptoms is pharmacist Angela McNeil, who is also the owner and operator of 3 Shoppers Drug Mart locations. Well, welcome to our show, Angela.
Thank you.
So great to have you in. We're going to talk a little bit about fall allergies, but big day, big day. Tell us what's happening today.
Flu clinics are starting today. So flu is launching in the province, Nova Scotia. You can go online. You can book an appointment through the Can Immunize site. And if you go to shoppersdrugmart.ca, it'll direct you to the right booking site, and you can start booking your flu appointments now and COVID shots as well.
Perfect. So we will put that information on our website as well to make it easy for people. But they're free in Nova Scotia, and starting today, you can get them. Okay, perfect. Fall allergies.
Yes.
For us, like myself, I'm an allergy sufferer, and it's not fun.
No.
What are the fall allergies?
So ragweed is typically our pollen of choice for fall. So a lot of people forget about the fall being a seasonal allergy time. Everyone thinks spring is coming. My allergies are gonna start to flare up. Unfortunately, it can continue a lot into the fall, so typically late August. And as we kind of move into the winter months, once that frost hits, those pollens tend to start to go away. So the timing can be a little unpredictable. Getting ahead of them is the biggest trick. So you can come in, talk to the pharmacist. We can kind of give you some guidance. Lots of over-the-counter options, of course. And then if those don't work, we do have prescription products that we can prescribe.
All right, we'll get into them a little bit to break it down for people. Another thing that I've noticed, I don't know about the external. It's not for me. That's my issue. It's the internal. Now that we're inside more, I'm super duper allergic to dust mites, and I think a lot of people are.
Yes.
So
dust mites, mold is another big one too. So again, especially we have all those wet leaves and stuff, and we're cleaning up the yard. The mold, the dust mites, things like that. The management, which is great, is the same across the board for all of them. So no matter what you're allergic to, the management is the same.
Perfect. Yeah, we don't want to discourage people from going out and enjoying things like this. It's gorgeous. But yeah, that's why it's so important to get allergy advice. So we're going to, first of all, really important, the difference between allergy symptoms and cold and flu symptoms.
Yes, so we're in cold and flu season now, and then we have our fall allergy season now, and it is sometimes very hard to tell the difference. Typically with allergies, it's that itchiness, itchy eyes, itchy nose, itchy throat. We don't tend to see that so much with colds. Another big difference would be a lot of coughing more with colds. You can get a post-nasal drip a bit with allergies, and you can develop a bit of a cough. But it's more common, that cough and sore throat, more that kind of chesty type of symptoms that we see with colds. And then fever is another trigger. If you're developing a fever, we're going to say it's more of a cold or flu, that type of thing.
All right, what can pharmacists do to help alleviate these symptoms?
So like I said, lots of over-the-counter options. So come in and talk to us. We've got nasal sprays, we have eye drops, then there's your antihistamine pills. A lot of over-the-counter options we can recommend. Always good to check with us because obviously there's, you know, medication interactions that we want to make sure are not happening. We want to watch out for you. And then if the over-counter options aren't working, there are prescription products that a lot of pharmacists can do consults and we can prescribe for you.
All right, let's get into that. So if you can't get in to see a family doctor, how do you can actually speak to a pharmacist and they can actually prescribe?
We can, exactly, yeah. With expanded scope, we've got that option for you, and there are over-the-counter, or prescription products that we can prescribe for you. We can do an assessment and pick what's appropriate for you.
Amazing. What's the difference between prescription medication and one over-the-counter?
So a lot of still antihistamines, nasal sprays, just a little bit stronger. There are some steroid nasal sprays and a little bit stronger antihistamines that we can prescribe, higher strengths that we can prescribe as well to try. So lots of options for you.
Well, I guess it starts with a chat with a pharmacist.
Absolutely.
So, thank you so much, Angela.
Thank you.
And we put those websites on ours to make it easy for you to find for those flu shot appointments or to get in and see a pharmacist. It's 7:26. We're going to take a break and be back with it. Your Morning Atlantic right after this.
Coming up in this half hour, volunteers needed. The Girl Guides of Canada are looking for people in our region and across the country. Oh, and there's cookies too. We'll get those details on how you can help the iconic organization just ahead here on Your Morning Atlantic.
Morning. It is 7:30, halfway through the show already. Halfway through the week.
Halfway through the week. We had Girl Guides knocking on our door actually on Monday.
You did?
And we bought the last box.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nice to have some cash on hand because there's so many kids looking for donations, doing bottle collection, and we were really grateful just to have some cash. Get that last box. It's the mint ones right now.
I prefer the mint. They are my favorite. I used to have a problem where I couldn't stop eating them, but I've managed to get that under control. But you know, it's all for a good cause.
Absolutely. I was in Girl Guides when I was younger.
Were you really?
Okay, yeah.
It was a fun experience.
I was in Girl Guides when I was younger too, and I didn't like it.
Really?
Yes, my leader was super mean.
Oh.
And I'll tell you why I'm telling you this story, because I remembered that, and then when my daughter wanted to get into guiding, I became a leader and became the leader I wished I'd had.
Nice, there you go.
And it was really fun.
Yeah.
I love how you turn that around because it's like leaders like you, and then the ones that we'll be having on here in the show in just a few minutes that really change lives.
It's really rewarding. As a leader, and of course, you know, the girls love it too. So I'm glad you had a great experience, Latavia.
Yeah, it was fun. My mom didn't love it, but she didn't love that I had to go around selling cookies.
It's only twice a year.
I know.
And you learn so much from that experience.
And it's so much fun.
Yeah. All right, well, keep an eye out for the Girl Guides selling the cookies right now.
Yes, I'll take 2 boxes.
Indeed.
Well, and you know people are happy when you gift them a box of cookies, right?
Yes.
Usually people aren't upset about that, but that brings us to the Move Morning Chat. We're actually asking you this morning, what's the strangest gift you've ever received? We'd love to hear your answer and your story behind it. You can send us a text at 10400. And if you have not texted us before, don't forget to include your first name, and we'd love to know where you watch from as well.
Absolutely. Now we're going to talk about the weather. Heading over to Kitty Vitty.
Ooh, someone just went into the little building.
Really?
Yeah, the door just slammed shut.
Look, there's a bird too, or a few birds starting off their day. It is a cloudy start to the day and a bit cooler, 5 degrees as of right now. Just keep that in mind when you are heading out for your morning commute. Still keeping those layers on early in the morning, but for the most part, we will be seeing above seasonal daytime highs headed our way. But as of right now, only 4 degrees in Fredericton, 9 starting off your day in both Charlottetown and in Halifax, 11 into Yarmouth, 3 degrees in Sydney, 2 degrees over in Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and 6 starting off your day in St. John's. Over to our satellite and radar, we do have a bit of precipitation tracking across parts of the region. As of right now, some isolated showers for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Also seeing some wet weather move across Labrador and periods of drizzle and fog starting off your day for parts of Newfoundland. We will be seeing sunshine into the afternoon. Over to our current winds for the maritime region. As of right now, 28 kilometers per hour for sustained wind in Edmonton, 17 in Canso, 13 kilometers per hour in both North Cape and Yarmouth, 11 in Charlottetown and Lunenburg, and 17 kilometers per hour in Moncton. Over to the wind gusts. As of right now, only one to notify you of, 50 kilometers per hour in Edmonton. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast coming up, but first another look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Voters in Newfoundland and Labrador showed they were in the mood for change, ousting the Liberal government after 10 years to elect Tony Wakeham and the Progressive Conservatives. The Tories snagged 21 seats after voting yesterday and will form a majority government. Wakeham won over voters by criticizing the Liberals' controversial energy deal with Quebec and focusing on cost of living issues.
We didn't quit. We kept believing in each other because we knew it wasn't over until that final buzzer and all the votes are counted. And tonight, we all know it because we all feel it. There is nothing quite like a comeback.
The Liberals held on to 15 seats, while the NDP won 2 seats, along with 2 independents. In Nova Scotia, a person is in hospital with life-threatening injuries after a police-involved shooting just outside Halifax. Nova Scotia RCMP were responding to a report of physical assault at a residence in Eastern Passage just before 2 o'clock yesterday when a police officer fired their gun and a person suffered life-threatening injuries. The person is currently in hospital. Police did not specify whether the person shot was a suspect. However, they say no one else was injured during the incident. The matter has been referred to CERT. New Brunswick's premier says she is not ruling anything out when it comes to fighting for the forestry sector.
What are the levers we can pull? What are the buttons we can push that will demonstrate to the U.S. that they want to house Americans? They need Canadian wood to do that. They need New Brunswick wood to do that because they don't have enough supply for their own interests.
Canadian softwood lumber exports to the U.S. now face combined duties and tariffs exceeding 45%. Susan Holt says retaliation isn't off the table. The industry is worth almost $1 billion to the province and employs around 26,000 people. The president of the NB Federation of Woodlot Owners says they're still trying to get clarification on the tariffs, but adds some have already been told by U.S. markets they will not be taking Canadian wood until further notice. Canada Post workers are back at work, but are technically still striking.
It's definitely a little awkward to be back without, a contract like set in place and going on rotating. But yeah, it's a little stressful being back.
The nationwide work stoppage that started nearly 3 weeks ago is still going on, but there are now rotating strikes. It means mail is moving again, but not on a regular schedule. The union says the goal is to minimize service disruptions as negotiations between the company and its workers continue. Local businesses say deliveries can't come fast enough.
We have customers in Toronto that are tried and true customers. They're very loyal to us. They expect their treats pretty quickly, and they deserve that. So not being able to offer a reliable source on getting our product to them is very difficult.
This small business manager says they have sent some products out with a different courier, only because there's no telling when shipments through Canada Post would make it. Finally, news you can use. Teenagers on Instagram will now be restricted to seeing PG-13 content by default and will not be able to change their settings without a parent's permission. In a new announcement by Meta, kids using teen-specific accounts will see photos and videos on Instagram that are similar to what they would see in a PG-13 movie. Anyone under 18 who signs up for Instagram is automatically placed into restrictive teen accounts unless a parent or guardian gives them permission to opt out. For parents who want an even stricter setting for their kids, Meta is also launching a limited content restriction that will block more content and remove teens' ability to see, leave, or receive comments under posts. So these are new changes by Meta.
Thank you, Amanda. That is important information.
Yeah, on Instagram, PG-13 rules for movies applying to Instagram.
Yeah. Okay. This is also news you can use if you like to plan your next race. You're going to have to plan a year in advance because it just happened. But I attended a wonderful race over the weekend, Race Mabu in Mabu, Cape Breton. Now, Race Mabu means Race Mabu in Gaelic. It's spelled R-E-I-S.
Ah.
Woohoo! Yeah! You can see it's on a beautiful trail. The race celebrates the Gaelic culture of Western Cape Breton. Runners are encouraged to wear kilts. Ooh. So, Latavia, you've got a kilt on. Right? Just get it out. Yes, see, those who wore kilts get into an extra draw for more prizes. Live music, Celtic music.
Fun.
It's just wonderful. And the trails are managed by volunteers. Absolutely gorgeous.
Wow.
Great running. So there's a 5K run. See, there you go. That's all the Gaelic on that it means run, run, run. I know. It attracted visitors from as far west as Vancouver, as far south as Florida.
Wow.
Very popular race and wonderful, wonderful spirit for the event. There you go. That's my nephew, Alistair. Good job, Alistair.
Oh, my gosh.
And that was the number, that was the top. Actually, there's a 10K as well. The 10K winner on the men's side won in a kilt.
Wow, that's awesome.
And he ran really fast, too.
That's amazing. And, I mean, you won 1 year, didn't you?
1 year, yeah.
You did.
Didn't run this year, but next year, oh, yeah, look out. Here
Watch out. Crystal's coming. Okay, we're going to head to break, but we have so much more to come this show. We hope you'll stick around for the next hour and a half. Latavia has the latest look at the forecast, and then volunteers urgently needed. The Girl Guides of Canada are looking for help in our region and right across the country. We'll get those details in just a few minutes here on Your Morning Atlantic.
Bit of a sunny start to the day over in Burnt Coat Head. Welcome back, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 7:43. Currently 9 degrees in your area, and we will be seeing temperatures warm up a little bit later on. But it is another cool start to the day for parts of Atlantic Canada. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. As of right now, only 2 degrees over in Labrador City. 6 degrees starting off your day in St. John's. Over to 4 degrees, so a cool start to the day yet again in Fredericton. 9 degrees in both Charlottetown and Halifax early this morning. 3 degrees in Sydney. Over to our forecast timeline, we do have a bit of precipitation tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada this morning. Some isolated showers for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. We are seeing a foggy and cloudy start to the day with periods of drizzle over in Newfoundland, and parts of Labrador seeing precipitation as well. Into the afternoon, we will be seeing sunshine for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, but also seeing some isolated showers still continuing, taking us into the evening and overnight hours, still seeing some precipitation tracking across the region, bringing us into early Thursday morning. We have another wet day ahead, but only around a 30% chance of it happening. But if you are wondering about precipitation totals, we're looking at around 2 to 5 millimeters of precipitation for much of the maritime region, seeing around 5 to 10 for St. John. Over into Newfoundland and Labrador, very light precipitation indicated as well. So for our forecast today for Fredericton, we're looking at some precipitation into the afternoon, so a high of 13 degrees today. For the rest of New Brunswick, we will be seeing some sunny breaks, but also seeing some isolated showers moving into the afternoon, with highs ranging from 11 to 14 degrees. Prince Edward Island seeing mainly sunny skies today. Showers arriving into the evening with highs between 13 to 16 degrees being the warmest into Charlottetown. And then for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, seeing a mix of sun and cloud. We do have some isolated showers expected for parts of eastern Nova Scotia. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at highs between 14 to 19 degrees, looking at a mix of sun and cloud with a chance of isolated showers moving in to the evening. For Labrador, looking at a high of 6 degrees in Labrador City, mainly cloudy skies today with precipitation early in the morning for parts of Newfoundland, only periods of drizzle. A high of 9 degrees today, and precipitation clears out into the afternoon, leaving cloudy skies. For our forecast on Thursday, we're going to see some precipitation tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada yet again. Only a few showers indicated. And then for Thursday, as temperatures cool down, they warm back up, and we will be seeing sunshine return, Crystal.
Thanks, Latavia. 7:45, and breaking news, everybody. It is fall Girl Guide cookie season, and while that itself is great news, if you're a chocolate mint person, that's the fall cookie campaign. That's the cookie season for you. If you love the classic vanilla and chocolate cookies, well, you'll have to wait till spring. Now, aside from supporting your Girl Guides to buy the cookies, the guides actually urgently need your support as volunteers to make sure everyone has the opportunity to participate in the guiding experience. Allison Anderson is the contact guider for the first St. Margaret's Bay Guides and Rangers, and her daughter Kate is 10 years old, and she's in her second year of Girl Guides. Thank you both for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Is there some kind of broadcasting badge? Because you could probably work toward that by being here today.
Yeah, should be.
Wonderful. All right, so first of all, I'm going to start with you, Kate. Why do you love being a Girl Guide?
Well, really, it's just kind of like I've been in it for so long, and also if it weren't for Girl Guides, I wouldn't have met like double digits worth of friends. Like I've met a lot of people through Girl Guides, and also we just do so many activities, and I also really love like the traveling mostly. Yeah.
That's what, yes. Okay, so Allison, you're a guider. You've been a guider for 14 years now.
Yep.
And it is, I've been one myself. It is very rewarding. Speak to what it's like to be on that end of the Girl Guide experience.
Well, like you mentioned, I've been a guider for a really long time, and I've met many girls. I've been able to watch them grow up, and I've been able to watch them learn how to make things happen and, you know, excel in their lives. And a lot of them, actually, my rangers, a lot of them are going to university next year, which is a big deal. But we've traveled, we've gone all over Canada, and we sell a lot of cookies.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's important to let people know that the cookie sales, it's a multi-tiered thing. When you buy the cookies, a portion of those proceeds go directly to the unit.
Yes.
That allows you to do exciting things.
Yes.
So what have you done exciting recently?
Well, we're going to the Tides game tonight.
Wow.
So that's kind of fun. We went to the Oval a couple weeks ago. We try to get the girls out in the community, you know, volunteering. We visit universities. We stay over, sometimes camp in universities to show them what that's like. And Kate's unit went to Niagara Falls last year. They flew. Some of them, it was their first time on a plane, so that was exciting. But we do lots of adventures.
That sounds great, Kate. So you obviously, you must sell a lot of cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you get out of selling cookies? Aside from the funds to help do the program, like, what's the experience like of selling the cookies?
Well, really, like a lot of people think about it when they're selling cookies like, oh, I want to get the product gone. But I sometimes think about it like, if I were to be the person that I'm asking, I would kind of think of it like, oh, if someone was asking me this, that's kind of what I do.
That's a great, like a great perspective, and obviously you're successful because you've sold enough cookies to have a trip by plane all the way to Niagara Falls. So Allison, I guess there are a lot of units out there that have wait lists, girls waiting for the guiding experience because they need leaders.
Yes.
How can people become a leader?
So becoming a leader is pretty easy. We have a national website, Girl Guides of Canada national website, volunteering, and you can go that route and someone will reach out to you. Now, many of us already have leaders, but it's always nice to have a few extra.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are more hesitant to volunteer, thinking it's going to be this big, big job. We would just love to have a few of you join us so that we can run the show. If you're interested in running the show, you're welcome to do that. But if you just want to come a few times a month to help, it makes a really big difference, and it allows us to bring girls off the wait list into the program.
That's true, because they're very strict rules. I mean, there's certain rules about how many guiders there have to be, the ratio, they call it, guides, and it's very, very safe, and if you do become a leader, you're very much supported.
Yeah, definitely.
So, every step of the way.
It's a lot of fun. The leaders have as much fun as the girls. So I highly recommend it. It's a blast.
Well, the leader makes the unit, so you're always doing a great job. Thank you, Allison, for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kate, for coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll take those 2 boxes of cookies. I've got $12 in my desk. All right, we're going to move things over to Amanda now.
Thanks, Crystal, and Kate, and Allison as well. We'll take 2 boxes. Health and medical news now. A study from Laval University has found that many high sodium and high sugar foods in this country are cheaper than healthier alternatives. One of the topics in Your Health. The study analyzed over 2,000 processed food products and found that cheaper options were often unhealthy due to low-cost sugar and sodium ingredients. The study's lead author says she hopes the findings will encourage political action to reduce health inequities caused by food prices. The study was published in the journal Public Health Nutrition. Health Canada's high-in label will be required on all foods considered to be high in saturated fat, sugar, and sodium starting next year. It's part of an effort to encourage Canadians to make healthier choices and avoid ingredients that contribute to obesity, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. The World Health Organization is sounding the alarm over soaring numbers of drug-resistant bacterial infections. The United Nations Health Agency warned that 1 in 6 laboratory-confirmed bacterial infections worldwide in 2023 showed resistance to antibiotic treatments. The WHO says this is concerning because it compromises the effectiveness of life-saving treatments and can make minor injuries and common infections potentially deadly. Bacteria have long developed resistance against medicines designed to fight them, rendering many drugs useless. Researchers say this has been accelerated by the massive use of antibiotics to treat humans, animals, and food. Finally, humans around the globe are living 20 years longer than they were in 1950. In 2023, life expectancy was 76.3 years for women and 71.5 years for men. That's according to new research, but it also found vast inequities remain, and there is an emerging crisis of rising death rates among adolescents and young adults. COVID-19 fell from the leading cause of death in 2021 to 20th place in 2023, with heart disease and stroke rising to, again, become the leading causes of death globally. The study was published in The Lancet.
And we just have one milestone to pass along for you today. It's a 103rd birthday for Ruth Todd of Halifax. Happy birthday, Ruth.
Happy birthday, 103. Congratulations. To see your milestone again or find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code you see on your screen, and a reminder that milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance.
Milestones, brought to you by the Berkeley Retirement Residences. Love this stage of life.
Now over to the growing popularity of subtitles while watching TV shows and movies. A new poll is shedding light on who is using them and why, and the reasons may vary depending on age.
NBC's Joe Fryer has more on the generational divide.
Just as one generation might watch The Golden Girls,
thank you for being a friend.
Well, another opts for The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Belly. Conrad.
Your age may also determine how you watch your favorite TV shows and movies. A new poll finds 40% of adults age 18 to 44 use subtitles always or often. That number drops to 28% for those 45 and older. Those stats came to life.
All of them were like, why don't you have the captions on?
As 57-year-old Kelly Gibson watched a movie with her daughters, including 30-year-old Hallie.
And it's at a point, I would say, where it's jarring if the subtitles aren't on.
Mom is now on board.
I was fascinated and loved the idea that younger generations saw this as something that was for everybody.
Though not everyone's on the same page.
When you guys watch movies in English, do you guys tell me you have the subtitles on at all times, right?
No, never. Absolutely not.
No, never. In English? Why do you use the subtitles? You speak English.
Sometimes you make sure you catch everything.
And that's the main reason viewers are flipping on the subtitles, to catch every word.
You are not serious people.
Of course, we're also using subtitles for foreign films and shows, and to understand accents.
Apologies, I have a flea bottom accent, I know.
Game of Thrones started it because I watched it the first time without, then I rewatched it with. Game changer.
But the poll shows younger viewers may have different reasons for turning on the captions, like watching in a noisy environment or multitasking, rapidly bouncing between multiple screens, even while working.
You can read the subtitles faster than they're usually delivered by the actors, and so that usually means that you can pick up what's needed and then hear it as you're continuing on your work.
Subtitles are far from new. They date back to the early 1900s when they were called inner titles, those title cards you saw between scenes in silent movies. After the transition to talkies, subtitles were born, growing more complex over the decades. These days, captions are quite common in social media videos, and that more than anything just might explain why the youngest generations are perfectly happy reading what they're watching.
I just find it so much more helpful for me to be able to fully understand everything that's going on, whatever the dialogue is, whatever's being said.
Changing over to the 3-day forecast now for New Brunswick, looking at mainly cloudy skies with some isolated showers into the afternoon, a high of 13 degrees. Cooling down a bit on Thursday with a high of 10, showers tracking across the province. Sunshine returning on Friday with a high of 13. Nova Scotia will be seeing sunshine, but also a chance of showers moves back into the evening with a high of 16 degrees. 13 on Thursday with scattered showers and isolated showers expected on Friday. Yet again, the daytime high will remain at 13. For Prince Edward Island, 15 degrees today, mainly sunny skies with evening showers. Isolated showers continue across the island on Thursday, and on Friday, wet weather continues with a high of 12.
It's Wednesday, October 15th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, Tony Wakeham's Progressive Conservatives won a slim majority in the Newfoundland and Labrador election, booting the Liberals out of power after their 10-year run. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And the Fire and Water Festival. We'll get all the details on the free annual event happening in Dartmouth on the waterfront this weekend. It's a celebration of diversity. It's just ahead on Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning. It is 8:01. Still lots to come in the last hour of the Wednesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic. Amanda, Crystal, and Latavia with you on your Wednesday morning, midweek already. It's a short work and school week for so many of us because of Thanksgiving. And again, we're still in the middle of festival season.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, it used to just be the summer that we would have these wonderful events, and now we're seeing them year-round. And luckily, it seems like the weather is on their side, too.
Yeah. Both Friday and Saturday night, you can see Fire and Water at the waterfront. There's a really dramatic show.
It looks really
cool. Of program, but the like kind of keynote show is
a big one.
Wonderful. It's one of the best kept secrets. And Saturday night, it's happening at the same time as Nocturne. So it's like win-win-win. Anyway, we'll get to that shortly. Right now, people want to know what the weather's like out there.
Absolutely. A bit of a cool start to the day, but temperatures will be warming up for the most part. Here's a live look at Moncton. Mainly cloudy skies early this morning. It is 6 degrees in your area, and as I mentioned, above seasonal daytime highs for much of the region a little bit later on. But you may want to layer up before heading outdoors early this morning. 4 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton as well as into Bathurst. 9 right now in Charlottetown and in Halifax, with 3 degrees in Sydney. 6 starting off your day in St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our satellite and radar, we do have a bit of precipitation tracking across parts of the region. Some isolated showers early this morning for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Also seeing wet weather move across parts of Labrador and seeing periods of drizzle and a cloudy start to the day over in Newfoundland. Over to our current winds for the maritime region. Pretty light starting off the day, 22 kilometers per hour in Edmonton, 17 early this morning in Moncton, with also 17 kilometers per hour in Canso, 13 into North Cape and Yarmouth, 11 in Lunenburg and Charlottetown. Only one wind gust to notify you of, getting up to 39 kilometers per hour in Edmundston. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast, but first a look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Time is 8:03. Voters in Newfoundland and Labrador showed they were in the mood for change, ousting the Liberal government after 10 years to elect Tony Wakeham and the PCs. The Tories snagged 21 seats after voting yesterday and will form a majority government. Wakeham won over voters by criticizing the Liberals' controversial energy deal with Quebec and focusing on cost of living issues.
We didn't quit. We kept believing in each other because we knew it wasn't over until that final buzzer and all the votes are counted. And tonight, we all know it because we all feel it. There is nothing quite like a comeback.
The Liberals held on to 15 seats, while the NDP won 2 seats along with 2 independents. In Nova Scotia, a person is in hospital with life-threatening injuries after a police-involved shooting just outside Halifax. Nova Scotia RCMP were responding to a report of physical assault at a home in Eastern Passage just before 2 o'clock Tuesday when a police officer fired their gun and a person suffered life-threatening injuries. The person is currently in hospital. Police did not specify whether the person shot was a suspect. However, they say no one else was injured during the incident. The matter has been referred to CERT. The Crown has wrapped up its case in the manslaughter trial of a former bouncer at the now shuttered Halifax Ale House in late 2022. It's now up to Alexander Levy and his defense team to decide whether they will call any evidence. A fellow security guard took the stand and described the night Ryan Sawyer died as very busy. Court video showed Gregory White pull Ryan Sawyer from the altercation outside the bar and restrain him before, as White testified, Levy allegedly put Sawyer in what he described as a rear naked chokehold. A forensic pathologist testified later, saying the bruising on Sawyer's neck showed forceful compression consistent with choking and agreed it was the underlying cause of death. The Crown has now closed its case after 5 days of testimony. The defense will decide today whether to call any evidence in the case. As Latavia mentioned, we do not have any significant rainfall in the forecast. Conditions around the region for this time of year remain unusually dry, which is especially concerning for communities that rely on wells.
I did some washes at my friend's place, and the long, luxurious showers are gone. Not quite sure how the community is going to get through the winter.
Half the community in Memramcook, New Brunswick relies on wells, many of which have dried up. Late last week, the village announced they're offering financial help to those impacted by water shortage by paying 75% of water delivery costs up to $1,000. And just yesterday, they opened a distribution center where residents can fill up. And in Nova Scotia's Cumberland County, mandatory water restrictions that were introduced late in the summer are still in place. Officials say they may have to truck water in, which would mean a boil order for residents and businesses. Finally, according to a new report, Canadians are planning to spend a little more this holiday season, but will be focusing on spending smart.
Most Canadians are telling us that they are still very nervous about the economy. They still feel like they're spending more than they should be due to inflation, but it's not translating into how they're spending. And this is actually a very healthy trend for us should it continue. As a country, we're showing resiliency and resourcefulness, which is a great thing for our economy.
The 2025 Holiday Retail Outlook from Deloitte Canada shows holiday spending is projected to increase by 3% this year, with spending on gifts and experiences up 2%. The survey also showed that Canadians will try to spend where there is a loyalty program or where they're getting additional discounts. And also coming up at 8:30, CTV Scott Hurst will join us from Toronto, and he's going to talk about a new report and survey out this morning talking about financial stress on Canadians.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be coming up at 8:30, so we hope you stay tuned for that.
Well, speaking of spending and holidays, we're going to talk about Halloween spending right now. The numbers have been crunched, and projections in the U.S. Say that the bottom line is basically dressing up for Halloween is a big economic driver. You're going to find this interesting. Consumers are expected to spend $2 billion on costumes for adults. So among the group, 5.6 million plan on dressing up as a witch, followed by vampire, pirate, cat, and Batman. For kids, Spider-Man is the big thing. 1.4 billion is going to be spent, and the top costumes are Spider-Man, with an estimated 2 million kids will dress up as Spider-Man this Halloween.
Wow, who's the real one? They're all going to point at each other.
Yep. Exactly. Then Princess, Witch, Ghost, other popular costume ideas, and then other superheroes. And then finally, Pet costumes are popular. Pumpkin #1, followed by hot dog, a bumblebee, ghost, and again superhero. So if all else fails, just dress up as a superhero. You'll be very on trend.
You'll be on trend. Our son's going to be Super Mario for the third year in a row.
That's a superhero of sorts.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah, so we're saving money there.
I love it.
Okay, still ahead, another look at the forecast on this Wednesday with Latavia, and also after a look at your national news headlines. The Fire and Water Festival, rather. It's an annual celebration of cultural diversity, and it's happening on the Dartmouth waterfront this weekend. Those details coming up this half hour on Your Morning Atlantic.
Not a bad start to the day over in Lunenburg. The sun is shining, currently 10 degrees in your area. Welcome back. The time now is 8:11. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca, and we are seeing a bit of a cool start to the day yet again. Temperatures will warm up, though, but as of right now, only 4 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton, 9 starting off your day in both Charlottetown and in Halifax, 2 degrees in Sydney and Labrador City, with 6 degrees over in St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our forecast timeline, we do have a bit of precipitation tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada this morning. Seeing some isolated showers for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Also seeing a bit of wet weather for parts of Labrador and a bit of drizzle early this morning for parts of Newfoundland with some fog patches that will dissipate. We will be seeing a cloudy day ahead for much of Newfoundland and then seeing some sunshine for parts of Nova Scotia as well as Prince Edward Island. Going to still see isolated showers tracking across parts of New Brunswick, taking us into the evening and overnight hours. Showers return for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Temperatures will cool down into our forecast for Thursday, but we will be seeing showers continue to move through much of Atlantic Canada. But it's going to remain on the lighter side of things. Precipitation totals only getting around 5 to 10 millimeters expected for St. John. For the rest of the region, looking at around 2 to 5 millimeters, and pretty light precipitation indicated for both Newfoundland and Labrador. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, mainly cloudy skies with a chance of some isolated showers moving into the afternoon. Wind picks up out of the north, 20 gusting to 40, with highs ranging from 11 to 14 degrees. Prince Edward Island looking at highs between 13 to 16 today. Mainly sunny skies across the island, looking at showers moving into the evening. And for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, we do have some isolated showers for eastern Nova Scotia into the afternoon. Other than that, we will be seeing a mix of sun and cloud with highs ranging from 14 to 18 degrees. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, same thing applies. We saw some isolated showers early in the morning, clearing out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Showers will return for this part of the province into the evening, highs between 13 to 19 degrees. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, mainly cloudy skies today, a high of only 6 degrees in Labrador City with 9 into St. John's, looking at periods of drizzle, then clearing, leaving cloudy skies for the remainder of the day. For Thursday's forecast, we will be seeing a few showers move through parts of all 3 maritime provinces, still seeing some wet weather track across parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. And then into our forecast for Friday, temperatures will warm back up. We will be seeing sunshine return for parts of the maritime region, but also seeing mixed precipitation return for parts of Labrador and still seeing some isolated showers track across parts of Newfoundland. That's a look at your weather forecast. Now we'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thanks, Latavia. U.S. President Donald Trump has followed through with his threat to ramp up the trade war with Canada. New tariffs are now in effect and could have a devastating impact on businesses in our region and across the country. CTV's Mike Lecouture reports.
Some are calling it devastation on top of an already bad situation. With new tariffs taking effect today on lumber and some furniture, the head of one company is worried about his firm's future.
We used to employ 400 people. Now we are less than 100. That was before the 45% duties.
With the additional levy added at midnight, lumber producers now face 45% tariffs on softwood. There's also a 25% tax on furniture like kitchen cabinets and vanities. On January 1st, that will double to 50%.
This additional tariff means that Canadian wood has a higher tariff rate going to the United States than Russia does.
It's going to mean a loss of jobs. It's going to mean a loss of economic activity. It hits, and it hits in a really serious way.
The Canadian Kitchen Cabinet Association represents 3,700 companies, and many of their goods go south.
Some of them were exporting up to 80% of their product to the U.S. I mean, you know, some of these companies employ 500 people, and they just can't turn around on a dime.
The association wants the federal government to institute a Buy Canadian provision on taxpayer-funded housing projects to favor local companies, while the forestry industry wants Canadian and American negotiators to make lumber a priority in the ongoing trade talks.
We get this is complex. There are a lot of balls in the air here. But in the last week, our workers in forestry are not feeling like we're a priority.
In an interview on CTV's Question Period, Industry Minister Melanie Joly said the federal government is focused on negotiating deals for all industries affected by tariffs, including lumber.
CTV's Mike Lecouture reporting in Ottawa. And automaker Stellantis announced plans to move production of the Jeep Compass from Canada to the United States. Workers at the plant in Brampton, Ontario are set to lose their jobs as the company plans to spend $13 billion to expand production in Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, and Indiana and add 5,000 new jobs in the U.S. Prime Minister Mark Carney said in his statement that he will work with the government of Ontario to help protect the workers and create new opportunities. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic, but when we return, we'll be talking about a festival that you can attend in Dartmouth this weekend. That's on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Here's a reminder of today's code word as we're giving away $20,000. Today's code word is dream. You can head over to the contest page on ctvatlantic.ca or scan the QR code that's about to pop up on your screen. Enter DREAM along with your information for a chance to win Your Morning Atlantic's $20,000 giveaway. Make sure to watch us tomorrow for a brand new code word. All right, now we're going to throw things over to Crystal.
Thanks, Atavia. 8:21. Now, you don't need money for this event because it's free. Alderney Landing's 9th annual Fire and Water Cultural Festival is happening this Friday and Saturday evening. It is a free event celebrating rich cultural diversity across Nova Scotia through traditional performances and storytelling. There will be thrilling fire dancing, interactive cultural programming, pottery workshops, African drumming, engaging storytelling sessions, and more. To get the details on the upcoming festival, we welcome B. McGregor, CEO with our partners at Alderney Landing, and Dr. Henry Bishop, African music specialist and educator. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
If you can't tell, I love this festival.
Yeah, it's a beautiful culmination of different cultures coming together and celebrating something really special. And it has a really great vibe to it where people are learning and enjoying all of the music and offerings that we have.
For sure. So, Dr. Bishop, you're going to be doing drum demos during the event, and you're going to give us a little demonstration now. Why are you so passionate about African drum?
Well, I think the drumming part is the human connection. Brings people from all walks of life, all backgrounds, all languages, all genders, and they feel the harmony of the beat. Our hearts, from birth, our first rhythm is our mother's heartbeat. So we get that connection right away, and there's never a dull moment. It's always lots of smiles, and people are feeling like they're part of a family. So that circle was very powerful.
Yeah, well, you get to try. So we did a little demo during the commercial break. So I'm going to hold the drum. Explain to our viewers what kind of drum this is.
This is called a djembe drum.
Djembe drum.
And it means gather together in peace and harmony.
Okay.
So it's a wonderful drum to bring people from all backgrounds. And so the first thing is to hold your hands flat like that. And we're going to go to the center, which is the heart of the drum. And we're going to do a basic beat. Very good. So that's the first part. Now it's just 3 different notes on this drum.
Okay.
So we're gonna use our hands almost like a cup, like that. But this time we do it on the side. So we go.
Okay, B, I know you're jealous. He didn't bring drum for you.
I know.
I'll use my drum. But before we get, this is one of many things. The festival's in the evening, so it's dark, which means the fire really comes to life. Tell people what else they could see at this event.
So, numerous fire pits. We have Gary Joseph Elder with the TP and educational learning, storytelling, dancing from a variety of different cultures. And so we have Acadian, Celtic, Chinese or Ukrainian dancers this year, as well as food. So different types of food that you can try from different cultures. Borscht is what the Ukrainian people are bringing on Saturday night, which is wonderful. And so lots of music and song, and really people can gather around different fires and learn and engage. And that's what's really special about it, is that personal connection that they're making with people. And then, of course, we have illuminated sculptures around, and it's celebrating that this is Indigenous land and that we're celebrating the unity of everyone that's come to us.
Well, it is a wonderful festival. You've done a great job putting it on. I know that, Dr. Bishop, you are a big supporter of Alderney Landing. You have been. You were the very original board. You have been for years. So what is it about this event that stands out for you?
Well, for me, it's just bringing people together. who haven't met each other before, and it's kind of a common denominator that we can get together and have fun and learn from each other and learn about each other, as well as to kind of grow together, because we're from different backgrounds, but we're in the same part of the world now. And we came here on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. So it kind of feeling of that camaraderie and the connection of humanity, it's very powerful.
Yeah, I know. It just, your warmth and welcoming tone to it just speaks to the whole event. Everyone's welcome. It's very much a place where you can learn, but it's really fun and cool this year that it aligns with Nocturne. So you're going to have huge numbers probably on the Saturday night.
I would think we are. And so Nocturne, there's several programming pieces at Alderney Landing, the Fire and Water Festival, and of course our Blue Nose Ghost Festival. So this is a fantastic weekend to come down to Alderney Landing.
Yeah, you can come to Alderney Landing and you can participate in this festival. You can go downtown to the other art installations for Nocturne on the Saturday night, but both Friday, Saturday night, and Sunday, you can go to the Blue Nose Ghost and check out that amazing haunted house.
Yes.
And that, the Blue Nose Ghost Festival, the haunted house and the spiritual readings and all of the things in that kind of courtyard by the haunted house, all that supports the festivals like Fire and Water so it can remain free to the public.
Absolutely.
Dr. Bishop, thank you so much. And
Asante
you. And we put a link on our website about the festival. Do you want to drum us off to Latavia? Let's try. Okay. One beat. There you go, Latavia. Drumming over to you. Oh, I didn't do it right. Sorry.
Showing off the skills. I love it. Okay, we're going to take a look at our 3-day forecast. New Brunswick looking at mainly cloudy skies today. We do have isolated showers moving in for parts of the province into the afternoon, a high of 13 degrees. Looking at a high of 10 on Thursday with showers across the province. Sunshine returns on Friday, warming up just a little, 13 degrees. Nova Scotia will be seeing a high of 16 today. We do have some sunshine, also seeing evening showers. On Thursday, 13 degrees with scattered showers across the province. And on Friday, looking at isolated showers with a high yet again of 13. For Prince Edward Island, 15 degrees with mainly sunny skies, evening showers. And then on Thursday, looking at a high of 13 degrees with isolated showers across the island. On Friday, 12 degrees with scattered showers.
Still to come this morning, The Witch of Willow Sound. That's the name of a new book inspired by the folklore and stories of our region. We'll chat with author Vanessa Penny just ahead on CTV's Your Morning Atlantic.
Welcome back, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 8:30. We still have a half hour of the show. Lots to come still, and it's a pretty nice day.
Yeah. Good. Tell us more about it. Got my attention.
I want to know what it's like in Corner Brook this morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's head there and check.
Relief.
It's not that great, I'm going to be honest.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Beautiful foliage, and
Usually
Corner Brook is that the people are warm and friendly.
Oh, absolutely.
Even when the weather's a little gray.
I feel like Corner Brook is like the first place we see flurries. You know,
Yes.
It will be the first spot we'll see it.
Yes, absolutely. And it is a bit cloudy today and a bit gloomy, but we are going to see temperatures warm up a little bit later on. As of right now, 6 degrees as you head outdoors, and a bit of a cool start to the day yet again for the region. 4 degrees right now in Fredericton, a bit warmer over in Charlottetown and Halifax with 9 degrees, 2 in Sydney, as well as into Labrador City, 7 in St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have precipitation tracking across parts of the region today. Isolated showers for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. A bit of a cloudy, foggy start to the day over in Newfoundland. Looking at some periods of drizzle early in the morning, that will clear out. And we will be seeing sunshine for parts of Atlantic Canada into the afternoon. In terms of the wind, quite light for all 3 maritime provinces. Nothing above 22 kilometers per hour right now in Edmundston, 17 in North Cape, with 13 in Bathurst and Moncton. Only 1 wind gust at this time, getting up to 39 kilometers per hour in Edmundston. We'll have one last look at your long-range forecast, but first, one last look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Voters in Newfoundland and Labrador showed they were in the mood for change, ousting the Liberal government after 10 years to elect Tony Wakeham and the PCs. The Tories snagged 21 seats after voting yesterday and will form a majority government. Wakeham won over voters by criticizing the Liberals' controversial energy deal with Quebec and focusing on cost of living issues.
We didn't quit. We kept believing in each other because we knew it wasn't over until that final buzzer and all the votes are counted. And tonight, we all know it because we all feel it. There is nothing quite like a comeback.
The Liberals held on to 15 seats while the NDP won 2, along with 2 independents. In Nova Scotia, a person is in hospital with life-threatening injuries after a police-involved shooting just outside of Halifax. RCMP were called to a report of physical assault at a home in Eastern Passage just before 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon when a police officer fired their gun and a person suffered life-threatening injuries. The person is currently in hospital. Police did not specify whether the person shot was a suspect. However, they say no one else was injured in the incident. The matter has been referred to the Serious Incident Response Team. New Brunswick's premier says she's not ruling anything out when it comes to fighting for the forestry sector.
What are the levers we can pull? What are the buttons we can push that will demonstrate to the U.S. that they want to house Americans? They need Canadian wood to do that. They need New Brunswick wood to do that because they don't have enough supply for their own interests.
Canadian softwood lumber exports to the U.S. now face combined duties and tariffs exceeding 45%. Susan Holt says retaliation isn't off the table. The industry is worth almost $1 billion to the province and employs around 26,000 people. A new survey by Leger and United this morning puts numbers to what many Canadians are feeling. Financial stress is impacting their daily lives. For more on this, we bring in CTV's Scott Hurst. Scott, what do the numbers tell us about the level of financial stress Canadians are feeling right now?
Good morning, Amanda. Of course, we all worry about money. That's nothing new, but financial stress is proving to have a greater impact beyond our wallet, impacting really our overall well-being, not just our mental health, but more and more our physical health. That's according to a new survey from the United Way Canada through Leger. And United Way is seeing affordability challenges for so many Canadians becoming much more severe. Here's one of the first highlight numbers. 55%, more than half of Canadians surveyed, are at the very least anxious about their personal finances. Things like paying rent, paying the mortgage, supporting your family, affording groceries. It's all adding up to much more stress, much more of a burden. 41%, just under half of those surveyed, or about 4 in 10, report actual physical stress symptoms when talking about money. When thinking about their current financial situation, the survey points to people feeling things like heart palpitations, difficulty breathing or sleeping, general stress about making ends meet when thinking about their finances or talking about their personal finances. And that leads to the most severe question: what happens if you couldn't make ends meet all of a sudden? 42% say they'd only be able to cover their basic expenses for less than 1 month if they lost their job, Amanda, meaning so many of us are so dependent on each and every paycheck that if that money stopped, there's really no personal safety net.
Wow, staggering numbers there, Scott. I mean, nearly half of Canadians surveyed really is talking about how this financial stress is impacting their lives. What are the impacts that are being seen and felt because of this?
Yeah, the impact is really a rapidly growing demand for services, whether it's through the United Way, who put out this report, or other services. Of course, it's also been widely reported visits to food banks have been skyrocketing across every region in this country. And of course, according to the United Way, financial stress and worrying about money is something that it really goes across all income levels. But as you might expect, the overall physical and mental impacts are much more acute, much more severe for people making less money. And here's one more stark statistic from the United Way. Data from 211, United Way's national helpline, shows the need for temporary financial assistance this year grew by 50% from just last year, 2024, and more than 60% from 2 years ago, 2023.
Wow, that is significant growth. Scott, thank you so much for breaking down the numbers for us.
Thanks, Amanda.
CTV's Scott Hurst reporting live for us from our national newsroom in Toronto. Finally, The Radio City Rockettes. They are kicking into high gear in New York City with rehearsals for the 2025 Christmas Spectacular. They say movement is a great way to reduce stress, and these ladies certainly doing a lot of that in these rehearsals. The annual holiday tradition is returning to the famous Radio City Music Hall next month, with shows running from November 6th to January 4th. Show's director says the group is raising the bar this season with new technology and precise choreography. Tradition, though, remains the heart of the production, which originally debuted back in 1933. Looks like they're ready to go right now.
Yeah, there are a lot of them, too.
Yeah.
Holy. All right, well, speaking of performances, congratulations to the Harrison Trimble High School Vocal Ensemble. The New Brunswick Youth Singing Group has won the chance to perform with rock legends Foreigner. So these voices will take the stage at the Avenir Center on October 25th, performing alongside Foreigner to the classic I Want to Know What Love Is. The rock band has chosen Trimble High as the winner of their Foreigner High School Choir competition. The group beat out entries from 3 other Moncton area schools.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's coming up in Moncton. Great chance. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Those dance
Whoa. Wow. We'll have to see what it looks like on the 25th. I'm excited. That choir sounds incredible. That's going to be beautiful, that moment where they share the stage.
Oh, yeah.
Hard work to the students, too, and congrats to the teacher, too, for gathering them all together.
Yeah, for sure. So that's coming up. What else is going on in our region?
We'll take a look at the community calendar, highlighting some more events. So head over to St. John for a spine-chilling experience at the Rockwood Park Haunted Campground. Enjoy a night filled with eerie encounters, terrifying trails, and bone-chilling surprises. To book your ticket, head over to their webpage. The event runs from now until October 26th. And you can experience a chilling twist on the classic horse and wagon ride in Charlottetown. The haunted ride will feature eerie tales of local legends and spooky sights paired with ghostly stories that help bring them to life. And the rides will run from now until October 30th, so you still have lots of time. Head over to their website. And the Esther Fest returns to Amherst this week. Each October, you can head out there and enjoy a celebration of the paranormal and horror. So come out and learn more about Esther Cox and the best documented case, apparently, of poltergeist history in our region. And the festival runs from now also until October 30th. Very interesting.
Yeah, we need to go check that out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and if you do have an upcoming event, please send us the details. You can email it to us, yourmorningatlantic@ctv.ca.
Thanks, Latavia. And we are in spooky season. Coming up after the break, The Witch of Willow Sound. Latavia will have a conversation with author Vanessa Penny about her new book. That's coming up after this break.
It is a cloudy start to the day over McAdam. Taking a look at the train station this morning. It is a cool start to the day, so keep that in mind. Currently 3 degrees in your area, mainly cloudy skies, but we'll be seeing a chance of some isolated showers moving in this afternoon. Welcome back. The time now is 8:43. A bit of a cool start to the day yet again. Just keep that in mind when you are heading out this morning. You may want to keep those layers handy. 4 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton. About 9 degrees right now, starting off your day in both Charlottetown and in Halifax. 11 into Yarmouth with 2 degrees in Sydney, as well as into Labrador City early this morning. 7 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland, and looking at 5 degrees starting off your day in Corner Brook. Over to our forecast timeline. So we do have a bit of sunshine early this morning for parts of the Maritime region. A bit cloudier for both Newfoundland and Labrador with a bit of precipitation. So for Labrador, look at a few showers starting off the day. And then for Newfoundland, looking at periods of drizzle and a foggy start to the day as well. For the Maritime region, we will be seeing some isolated showers tracking across parts of all 3 Maritime provinces. Into the afternoon, much of the same, so a bit of precipitation across the region, as well as a bit of sunshine for parts of Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia. And then into the evening and overnight hours, seeing the temperatures cool down yet again and seeing precipitation continue for parts of all 3 Maritime provinces. Also seeing some wet weather into the evening for Newfoundland and Labrador, taking us into early Thursday morning. We will be having cooler daytime highs and precipitation continues. But if you're wondering about the precipitation totals, going to remain quite light, only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters expected for parts of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, getting around 5 to 10 millimeters expected for St. John, New Brunswick. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, going to remain quite light throughout today into Thursday morning. For forecast today for New Brunswick, looking at mainly cloudy skies starting off the day. We do have showers that will move in this afternoon, around a 30% chance of it happening, with daytime highs between 11 to 14 degrees, being the warmest into Grand Manan as well as St. John and Moncton. For Prince Edward Island, looking at highs ranging from 13 to 16, being the warmest into Charlottetown. We'll be seeing sunshine throughout your day. We do have a chance of some isolated showers returning into the evening. Light wind out of the northwest at 20 kilometers per hour. And then for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, we will be seeing a mix of sun and cloud. We do have a chance of some isolated showers for eastern Nova Scotia into the afternoon. But other than that, lots of sunshine throughout your day. And then pretty light wind out of the southeast, only 10 kilometers per hour. Then for the rest of Nova Scotia, highs will range from 13 to 19 degrees, being the warmest into Shelburne and Bridgewater. Same thing applies. We do have some isolated showers expected early in the morning, clearing out, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. A chance of isolated showers returns into the evening. And for Newfoundland and Labrador, mainly cloudy day ahead with a high of 6 degrees over in Labrador City, 9 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Periods of drizzle early in the morning, clearing, leaving cloudy skies for the remainder of the day. For Thursday's forecast, we will be seeing showers move in across parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Wet weather also expected for both Labrador and into Newfoundland. And then our forecast for Friday, temperatures will warm up yet again. We will be seeing a bit of sunshine, but also a cloudier day ahead into the afternoon, and also seeing some wet weather track across parts of Labrador. So that's a look at your weather forecast. We're going to throw things over to the Witch of Willow Sound, the local author, Vanessa Penny. Take a look. Oh my goodness. Nova Scotia and Newfoundland are most known for their ghost stories, but did you also know that we have a long history of witches? And while East Coast Canadian witch lore and history may be a thing of the past to most, there are still many witches apparently working and living in this part of the world today. If this is of interest to you and you're in need of a new spooky fall read, why not check out a modern Gothic tale inspired by real East Coast traditions and witch lore? Local author Vanessa Penny debuts her new novel, The Witch of Willow Sound, and she's here to share all the details this morning. Welcome, Vanessa.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so thrilled to be here.
Well, we're very excited about this new book. So tell us about the inspiration behind it.
This book was inspired by some little-known East Coast Canadian history. I've lived here all my life and gone to school here, and I thought I knew some things. But a few months before I started writing this book, about 3 years ago, I happened across some aspects of our history that shocked me and that really stayed with me. One being the history of women called witches in East Coast Canada, and the other being kind of a secret that Nova Scotia has been keeping that I didn't know anything about. So it's part of our history that some people have tried to erase. So I thought it made sense to approach it with the Gothic genre, because what is more Gothic than the idea of shadows from the past reaching out to us in the present to tell us secrets and to tell us about things that we've forgotten.
Absolutely. I didn't know this about Nova Scotia either. Is there any specific part of Nova Scotia that kind of inspired your story?
Yes, it's inspired by the rural areas of Colchester County, which is where I spent most of my childhood growing up, in a small area outside Truro called Valley. My brothers and I grew up in the blueberry fields and the deep, dark woods there. But really, I've lived all over Nova Scotia. And so really the book is inspired by my love of all of Nova Scotia, especially the landscape. Nova Scotia has our endless towering trees and the crashing ocean and these colossal rock formations that feel supernatural when you are standing in their shadow. And when you're thinking about Nova Scotia and nature, you think about, these days, you think about the storms. I was raised by Cape Breton coal miners, families of Cape Breton coal miners and northern Newfoundland cod fishers. So I was raised with that respect and understanding for how powerful and dangerous nature can be. So I wrote this really as a love letter to this magical landscape, this beautiful place, Nova Scotia.
Absolutely. And fall in Nova Scotia is quite incredible as well. Okay, so your book has been selected as part of the bestsellers list, a new initiative from the Canadian Independent Booksellers Association. How did it feel to be recognized?
It feels amazing. It feels amazing. I still get shivers thinking about it and reminding myself that it's really real. It's a huge honor to be part of such an important list, especially as a debut author. It's a list that is celebrating Canadian culture, our communities, our conversations, and getting Canadians excited about books that are by Canadians. And I really put my heart into writing this book, but I never dreamed ever that it would be included on with such brilliant and important company. My writing idols are on this list, so I feel very humbled and I feel very grateful.
Well, we thank you so much for joining us, Vanessa, and to share the details on your book.
Thank you so much for having me.
Our pleasure. And that was author Vanessa Penny joining us. Make sure to stick with us. Your Morning Atlantic will be right back after this.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
We're about to wrap up the Wednesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic, but first we want to share a response we received to our Move Morning Chat. So today we were asking what's like the weirdest gift you've ever received. We've had some interesting stories to share. And this is one for a viewer, Lenore from Pictou. She says, my sister received the strangest, hilarious Christmas gift from her then mother-in-law back in the 70s, face cloths and underwear. We still joke about that one.
That's hilarious.
What a combo.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny.
Tell you, on the line of like the in-law gift, something I did receive once that was not a bad gift was, it was you know how they always kind of have that thing in the drawer for the person that comes in and didn't have a gift for, kind of thing.
Oh,
so
you have,
that was me.
Bonus gifts.
So the bonus gift is usually a candle or something. In my case, it was a set of scented drawer liners.
Ooh.
And they were wonderful.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is really
that's
nice.
a great gift that you get. It totally changed. Like, put them in there. Everything smells so nice.
Oh my gosh, I wonder where you can find those today.
I don't know. But like, yeah. Sometimes you think it's going to be a weird gift, but it turns out to be a great gift.
It turns out to be a good one. Cool.
How about the gift of a woolly caterpillar?
All right.
And that's something you'd want to receive as a gift. But if you like weather, and I know you love the weather, Latavia, so it's like a gift to get to see how they're predicting the weather. So move over groundhogs. We're looking at the caterpillars right now, the black and brown woolly kind. They're going to be a weather prognosticator. So in case you see any out there, this is the chart, the woolly bear caterpillar chart. All right, so the more black, in a nutshell, the more black, the more harsh the winter will be. If it's super brown, mild winter. And then if it's super black on the beginning of the caterpillar, like the head, means an early amount of harsh winter, and then it tapers off at the end, and vice versa.
Which side is which?
So the to the right is the head.
Okay.
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 Yeah. So let's just look at what the caterpillar I saw in Cape Breton on the weekend. My first woolly bear hits moving towards the top of the screen. What do you think, ladies? What is your prediction based on this caterpillar's markings?
An adorable winter. That's my thing.
It's true.
A cozy winter.
A cozy. I always forget these predictions by the time we're in the middle of winter.
So just remember, the more black, the harsher the winter. So I'd say we're going to get a fair bit of snow this winter. And then I believe at the head it appears to be a little more black than the tail area. So I'm thinking the snow is going to come on a little earlier this year.
Ooh.
Taper off at the end. So this is long range. Caterpillars don't predict the weather short range. That's where we have Latavia Beezer.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're not looking at a bad next couple of days. We need obviously more precipitation than we keep seeing. As of right now, we're estimating 2 to 10 millimeters for parts of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick for our rainfall totals. Newfoundland and Labrador, light precipitation. So over the next today into tomorrow, some isolated showers for parts of the Maritime region, a bit of sunshine in the forecast, but ultimately not enough precipitation and still remaining above seasonal for our daytime highs.
Yeah, we need that. And just for you, we'd love to get your pictures of the fall foliage, and also if you see any woolly bear caterpillars in your region, tell us where you live, when you saw it, and send it to us so we can compare and contrast.
We would love to see them. Yeah, you can send us an email, yourmorningatlantic@ctv.ca, or text us at 10400. That is the number. If you've never texted us before, you'll get a prompt, and you just say Atlantic, because that is the show that you're watching. This show's wrapping up. We hope you join us tomorrow on Thursday. We're going to talk about the Grocery Foundation Atlantic. We're talking winter care for your car and much more. We hope you'll join us then. Take care.
Have a great day. Bye.